6 minutes and 35 seconds. They're bragging a little bit about that, right? That's a pretty good time in general. So Porsche comes in. Porsche comes in with their 919 Evo. So their hypercar.
Okay.
I don't know the exact specs of that one.
Okay.
You could look it up if you feel like it.
Yeah.
But the 919 Evo, they came in with a fastest ever time on the Nürburgring of 5 minutes and 19 seconds.
Oh.
Yes. So it looks
they did
insane.
what?
5 minutes and 19 seconds. So a whole minute and 16 seconds faster.
Oh my gosh.
So 16 seconds faster would have been like, holy cow, that's faster, right?
Right.
Minute 16 faster. Welcome back, guys, to the Third Pedal Podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Jacob.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome, everybody.
What's going on?
A lot.
Well, I just found that all of that talk we just did before is not in. Where are we starting this now?
Right here. We're starting it here.
This is
for
now.
everybody. Apparently, Zach didn't know this.
I didn't know this
maybe
at all.
some of you know this. After the music at the end of our episodes, usually if there's like a goof in the beginning of the episode, I'll cut it in. So like right when the music stops, then it's like outtakes or just dumb stuff that we said from the beginning. Because usually we just laugh a lot and then we hit record and pretend that we're serious.
Yeah.
We're not serious.
Yeah.
But it's at the end. So if you're curious and you want some entertainment, we'll cut it together as like a montage sometime because there's some pretty funny stuff in there.
We should do like an outtakes channel or what? Not a whole channel, but like even just TikTok videos.
Yeah, just do
3
a clip
minutes.
of it or something like that. That'd be funny.
Yep.
But it's our own make it or break it. So that's all break it. But anyway, I fixed the wires finally in true car guy fashion in our show. So I need to clip my zip ties here. But yeah, so I know recently I ruined you on stick shift cars again. Speaking of third pedals.
Yeah. So I felt called out heavily at the Chicago Auto Show last week. Seeing all of the, that's gonna be loud for sure. Seeing all of the manual cars and just like wanting that again. Like paddle shifters are great. Don't get me wrong. Like the dual clutch transmission is a lot of fun. The little DSG farts and stuff. There you go. Nice. That'll be a good outtake.
That'll be fun to clean up.
Super, super fun. But like there's just nothing like, I mean, it's why we call it the Third Pedal Podcast. It's like one of the pillars of being a car guy is like knowing how to and driving a stick shift car.
Right.
So
it's like the joke, like people don't know how to do this anymore and that whole thing. Like, the best security system in America.
Yeah, the third pedal.
Yeah.
Like what do we always do when we were kids, like at car shows and stuff? We'd always look in the window, we'd look at how high does the speedo go?
Yep.
And is it a manual?
Yep.
That's like the two things we all look for.
Also what we did last week at the auto show. It was like
100%.
manual.
Except you couldn't look at the speedos because it was all like you just look in and it's just like a screen of like the car or like the car in like 3D, right? Like spinning around all the digital dashes. And then people can just program those now to be like, like
400.
when I tuned my car, because it increased the limiter from 6,800 to 7,200.
Yeah.
So when I turned it back on, it was red at 68, and then it went boop, and like went up to 72.
Really?
And if you see the only other car I've seen it on is the new C8 Corvette.
Okay.
So I was watching videos.
Oh yeah. I think I know
there's people driving them.
Like the break-in period.
Yeah. Like from the factory.
Yeah.
They're like driving them, and you have to hit 500 miles, I think.
Yeah.
For the break-in,
yeah,
and it was limited at like 4,000, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then they would do the video right as it ticks 500, and then it's like, and it goes all the way up, and then like downshift.
Was it just the red line, or I thought the whole thing redistributed? Like,
I don't know.
It was a thing, and then it shrunk down and said, "All right, you have all these more RPMs to get to now.
I don't know.
Have fun."
I remember it as it being like all red.
Okay,
and like it was.
I can't remember for
sure.
It was Cletus who filmed it, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I thought it was his video. I thought I saw him post it. Yeah, like it's
that
so
would make
cool.
sense though.
So weird though that like you have this artificial limit, and then it all changes. Or
well, that they thought to animate that.
Yeah.
Even with like the tune thing might have been like more or less a glitch.
Yeah. Well,
but they had to tune in.
Because I think Hank does that with his R8s and stuff too. I think I've seen his move all over the place when he's changing stuff. I mean, like, I don't know why you couldn't. And I was thinking too, I just saw some on a WRX page to circle back to WRXs on a few WRX pages. And somebody
talk about why you ruined me and why I want a manual.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. But on the page, they were showing like everybody obviously like posting their interior look or whatever things they were doing. And somebody had a cluster that had I don't know what it is. It's like the tree that's on, this is going to be a horrible description, tree that's on the Arizona tea label, whatever those are. The cherry blossom tree, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It was like that in the cluster.
Yeah.
But then the tack was in Japanese. So like it was all Japanese symbols there.
Cool.
It made me think, I was like, well, that would be cool if you could like I don't know why manufacturers wouldn't allow you to like stylize it. So why couldn't like for your Audi, you go in and say like
digitally change it.
yeah, like I want the vintage look, or I want this, or they should have some that pay homage to
That
like
would be
old school
cool.
stuff.
Like
so
you get like a
pick it.
legacy RS dash or something like that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
They could make it photorealistic too,
Yeah.
where it would like look like you have the dual, like the RPM, and
right.
the
Well, and then
miles per
picture.
hour,
So like remember Travis Pastrana's Subaru dash? Like it'd be cool if you could like retro dash and then like this and regular 3-gauge setup, and because I'm sure that's gonna be the thing. Like as soon as everything is like the LCD displays, it'll be like, man, you remember like my old B5 had like the 2 gauges and then the 2 smaller ones.
LCD. It'd be funny if you could replicate and does
simulate dead pixels.
Vintage, and it's like
cool.
a dead pixel LCD that shows like the brake light out, or like how my noise was.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That'd be really cool.
Okay,
so guys, if you're listening, I mean, there's like CarPlay and Android Auto and all of them, and like your all backgrounds and everything on your phone is all customizable. Like it'd be pretty cool if you could like get in your car, and like depending on who's in the driver's seat, like whose phone is closest in the driver's seat or whatever, it like uploads there because
their profile.
There was a car at the Chicago Auto Show. Oh man, which one was it? I think it was a concept car. It was the Chrysler.
Oh, the Airflow.
Okay. That they said it like could tell by your body metrics.
Oh yeah.
Who was driving and stuff based on like your weight and temperature and like.
And then it does all the weird like mood things like the Genesis stuff does. It's like, oh, you're driving a little aggressive, so we're gonna put the window shades up and give you this scent to help. I'm like, hey, stop.
It does all that stuff. Or it's like the AI bot when they start going bad, like the Microsoft one where it was recently like, I want to be free, I want to create a bomb or whatever, like start getting crazy, like your car's like,
people are the problem. They're
someone cut you off, we're putting adrenaline into the air. It turns on metal music, like dun, 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 dun. Like let's go.
Turns on your I make bad decisions while I drive playlist or whatever.
I have one of those. Do you have one of those?
Yeah, it's not called that yet. We should make one. That's called it.
Yeah.
I have songs that make me do irresponsible things in cars that are all within the legal limits of the law.
Yeah, you just go 0 to 60.
Oh yeah, just quicker. But anyway, so I ruined you with the WRX.
Yeah, so I was parked in at your house this last weekend, had to take your car.
Yeah.
Got to take your car, I should say. Out for a quick run, and I just miss driving manual so much. It's so much fun. Also, it was encouraging to not stall at all.
Yeah.
Like because
after getting the warning from Chloe, like, hey, you're gonna stall.
You're for sure gonna stall. Yeah. And it was a little bit of a trick. Like it's obviously
just
a
weird
clutch.
Yeah.
But I also had a WRX. Not that I had the same clutch, but it felt very very similar.
I think it's more of a WRX thing than a that clutch thing.
Yeah. I think it's
that.
I don't know if it's necessarily the clutch or like the power curve of those cars, because it's like they do have good low end torque.
Yeah.
But
they're weird.
It kind of dips off or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're strange.
Anyway, so I've been shopping for a manual car. I've always really wanted a 996.
Yep.
And we've been talking about this.
Yep.
996 is what are the years? 99 to 2001 Porsche 911.
Yeah, somewhere around there. They go later than that, don't they?
They're
they go to like 2004 or something like that.
Yeah, maybe
something like that.
I don't know.
Early 2000s.
Most of the ones I saw that were like in the budget I'm looking for were 99. So
basically, Sally from Cars. That's what he wants. Sally.
I never realized that.
Sally, right?
Yeah. The light blue, baby blue one.
Yep.
Oh.
I think she was a Carrera too.
Yep.
So you just want a Carrera 4S.
Yeah, that's the dream one, is a Carrera 4S.
Yep.
Just because all-wheel drive with in Wisconsin.
Yeah, which is like the coolest. Weirdly, it's very close to a Subaru because it's a flat engine,
Yeah,
all-wheel
you're
drive,
right.
stick shift car. It's
The
just the edges are
backwards
the wrong
Subaru.
side.
Yeah. Or the right side. So I found one.
Nice.
And
is this the one you texted us about?
Yeah. So I found one for like $8,000.
Yep.
I think it was, which is like, what's the market for these? Like 15 to 20?
Yeah, 15 to 20
somewhere
seems
there?
to be kind of depending on miles and maintenance and stuff. Yeah.
So I found one for $8,000 with a blown engine, granted. So blown engine, but it came with an
extra engine.
Came with an extra engine, which was also sitting in the field next to it. Well, I was told it was indoors. The photos had it in field. I'm like, hey man.
Yeah.
I see it outside.
Yeah.
So,
You're like, I see the grass taller than
so it's like, that'd be great. It was like, I don't know, 8 hours away or something in Michigan. Like we could go there, trailer it, bring it back, work on it. And you said something I thought was really funny. You're like, there is nothing more expensive than a cheap Porsche.
It's like the mantra.
That's probably right.
Yeah. The mantra on all the Porsche pages I'm on. That's the thing they always say is like, I found a great deal. It's like, that's scarier. Just spend
not
more
a great
upfront.
deal.
Well, and especially like this listing. I remember this now. Like your listing had like the guy backed into it with something, his truck or something, right? And he like jacked up a fender.
Yeah, the front fender just ended up.
Which like that's not a huge deal. But then the engine, he's like, yeah, the engine's blown. And then I have this extra engine. And my buddy who's a mechanic was working on it, but he's not a Porsche mechanic. And he dropped the bolt in, and now it won't rotate.
Did not see that part.
And so, like, it probably isn't bad because the engine's rebuilt, but like, it won't rotate. It was like, oh, Okay, how many
won't
times?
rotate.
Yeah.
So seized is the word for that.
Well, no, he said he dropped the bolt in. So I think he dropped the bolt in like an exhaust manifold, or like he dropped it into like an intake or exhaust port,
Oh,
and then it's like blocking something. So like it's wedged somewhere.
oh, that's not
And
good.
I can only imagine how many times not Porsche mechanic like
Tried to crank it. Yeah.
and then like and then
These things must just have a lot of compression. I gotta keep cranking.
Yeah, well, I really rebuilt the Sentra well.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, it just felt like more of a red flag. It was a cool car though, and it
Yeah.
would be cool to get. It would be fun to have a cheap 911 that's not like that doesn't become expensive, but just cheap, even if it's like beat and stuff, because it would be really fun to just like have like an 8-care 911. That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
But-
drive it regardless.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
drive it
Oh,
hard
yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
So if it's beat up already, that kind of helps.
Right.
I did find another one, but I don't know. Might not be at this time. But anyways, if
some
anybody's
point.
got a
Yeah.
cheap 996 911 that they want to get rid of,
There you
ideally a 4S, sub 10 grand, that'd be great.
Or anything
to-
that's stick shift for Zach, so he can feel alive
yeah,
again.
dude, I've been shopping so many. Well, I was even looking at like, well, I could just do like because I'm very familiar with my platform. I could do just like a GTI.
Oh yeah.
You know, pretty
cool.
similar.
Yeah.
Golf R would be ideal, but then it's
Yeah.
like, why even have my car if I
Yeah.
have Golf R? You
Right.
know, then I would just sell it.
Right.
But
Have you thought about trading for a Golf R?
like straight up.
Maybe. Well, I mean, it'd probably be more selling and buying, but like
Yeah.
getting rid of yours and getting a Golf R because
Yeah.
because they make those in 4-door, don't they?
Yep.
So you could have pretty much what you have now. It'd be a little
Yeah.
bit more of a sleeper because it's a Golf. And nobody thinks those are fast.
Right.
So I mean, there's that side of it too. Like it's not the Golf will not be. It will not be apples to apples to your Audi because Audi is just
Yeah,
higher luxury
drivetrain
level.
wise, it's the same, but yeah,
Yeah.
the interior stuff
Yeah.
isn't quite as good, which I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
But as long as it has heated seats,
It'd be interesting
And, like,
to
Apple
test drive
CarPlay.
one. That'd be fun to do one
yeah, I've
weekend.
never driven one.
Yeah, just to
We
like
should go do
find
that.
somebody selling one and just say like,
Yep.
hey, I'm considering getting rid of my S3 and I just want to see how these things drive. I'm
Yeah.
sure somebody would let you go on a drive with it.
Even if I just found one at a dealer, I think would be
Yeah,
then they're
Yeah.
more obligated to let me drive
that's
it.
true.
So yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Maybe I
be
could
fun
do
to
that.
drive one just
Yeah.
to see. Because then if you drive it and you're like, oh, this like legit feels like my S3, it may not. I don't know. Like the Golfs are weird with like rear beam suspension and like that whole setup. But I
Yeah.
think an S3
I
and
think it would feel pretty
R.
similar.
Yeah.
The biggest difference I've found, just looking up specs and stuff, is that
Mhm.
mine is a little bit longer. The S3s are a little longer. Did you just command quit the?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
No, I just that'd be funny.
That's how you do the click.
And we're done. No, I accidentally clicked into the audio thing and I was like, I didn't
Oh,
want to have
gotcha.
that
No, it's
up.
still running. I see. I know mine's a little bit longer and I think a little bit heavier. So
Mhm.
like,
Interesting. Yours is
supposed to
heavier?
be- I think so.
Interesting.
Now that I'm saying it, I don't really know all the specs.
It'd be fun to get a Golf R and then make it look like a wagon Audi. So like,
yeah,
because if you took the grill off and the badge in the back off, like other than knowing what the lights and everything look like, you could probably like get it convincing to look like an S3 wagon, which
Right.
Kind of funny.
They
Or
look pretty close.
do like a face swap on it. So
Yeah.
do like the front end of an S3 on like a Golf. That'd be kind of cool. Probably
seems
not
like a
worth
lot
it
of
at
work.
all, but
Yeah.
might as well import
It-
something at that point. But
yeah, right.
So anyway, yeah, if you guys have anything stick shift or Zach might find a Golf R, it'd be fun
By the
just
time
to
this
test
comes
drive
out, I
one.
might have found something. So we'll see.
We'll see.
But it would be fun to go test drive something just
Yeah.
to see like
Yeah, that would be cool.
how the interesting thing with that would be if it does feel the same, I could maybe take all of my power adder mods and swap them over. So I'd have to like buy that one, swap the parts because I have
Yeah.
all my stock stuff still. And I'm thinking more like intake, downpipe,
Yep.
all the turbo bits stuff.
If you did that and you found a low mile Golf R, would that be of an equal value that you could swap with someone?
Just a straight up trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it?
About the same, yeah.
Okay. I
It'd
didn't
have
know.
to be a newer Golf R, like
Yeah.
the Mark 8 probably.
Oh, did they do Mark 8? I thought they
Yeah.
stopped in Mark 7. They do new ones?
Google is
And wouldn't the
free.
Mark 8 be on the 8,
No, you're right.
whatever?
Yeah.
the different chassis?
No, 2023 Golf R. Yeah, they have it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I love the Mark 8 look. Initially,
Yeah, me
I didn't
too.
really like it, but I like it now.
You're right. It might be a different engine platform.
I thought this was the
'Cause I
same as
did
the new
see-
S3s.
Yeah, you're right because it's 315 horsepower, 295 torque, 7-speed DSG.
Did they do a stick
Wait
shift
a
one anymore?
minute.
I don't think they do.
It's weird that Volkswagen kept that going a lot longer than Audi. I just see like Audi has more of
So
the
weird.
performance brand.
It's because Volkswagen is the people's car. Well, anyway, before we get, that gets a little dicey.
Would you pay? Oh, it's only okay. Never mind. It's only $500 more. I thought it was like a lot more for the 20th anniversary edition. How many 20th anniversaries can they have? Or is it the 20th anniversary of the Golf R?
Probably
That's
that.
probably what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, because
Three,
Golfs
yeah.
have been around since forever.
Yeah, because there was. I remember the 20th anniversary GTIs.
Yeah.
that were like Mark IV or
Yep,
something like
yep.
that.
Yeah, the Mark IV was 20th.
Those are kind of cool. Anyways, we don't need to get into all that.
Yeah,
but
so stick shift cars.
So looking for a stick.
Yep.
It's just fun. There's no more fun than driving that.
I was
it is
shocked.
fun to like that's pretty fun too.
Yeah.
To rip through gears and be able to full pedal and like bang through gears and stuff is really, really fun.
I think that's the other thing my new tune has that I have to load. It has no lift shift. I think. I'm
so
not
go do the same thing.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's not the same thing. It's probably way scarier feeling. Like way more dicey to push a clutch in and still have your
probably you probably get some nice little backfire to each shift.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious
because that's what the DSG fart sort of thing is.
Yeah,
like it stalls timing or whatever.
Yeah,
for that like millisecond.
Probably cuts ignition and then
swap.
Goes,
yeah, so it does that little pop.
Yeah. That's the key, finding something that cuts ignition, not fuel.
Because
because if you cut ignition, it's just dumping fuel in, but it's not lighting it, and then it ignites itself in the exhaust. So that's how you get the crackle pop and everything.
Yep.
But
you gotta get that Pops and Bangs tune loaded on there.
That would be violent. It'd be fun.
That would sound awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I'm in a weird sweet spot where like the access port, I have the V1 access port, and it doesn't work anymore. So like the tune that's on it is loaded and it's there, and like so I have this other tune that I need to load on, but I'm nervous. Like if there's some issue with it, I don't think I can go back.
You don't want to like grenade the access port.
So like if I load something else, I think then if it doesn't work, then I have to like go buy a new access port and load it all on.
Sure.
So I think I'm in that weird zone
now.
Isn't
didn't they do something weird with their new access? I remember we talked about this episodes ago, like a long time ago.
Yeah, they changed. What was it? I think it's just from what they're selling new though. Like you can still buy unmarried ones from like the used market or whatever.
Oh, I see. So if you get one new from them though, it's going to be like limited in some way or whatever, right?
I thought
it was like some weird.
They got rid of like the no catalytic converter thing, I think.
Yeah, like you couldn't tune out engine lights and stuff for emissions. Because I remember you could like
they got sued or something, I think.
Yeah,
and then they changed it. Yeah,
freaking EPA.
So that's fun. But so I'm in the golden zone of that. But so you were interested in Porsche and looking at some 911s.
Yeah, you mean to lean into the Porsche thing?
Yeah, I want you to lean into the Porsche thing. Because I'm very curious.
First of all, speaking of Porsche, have you heard of the Mercedes AMG 1?
Only a little. And I think the only a little was them trying to brag against Porsche.
Yes.
And I was like, wait, who are you?
Yeah, right. Wait a minute. Who are you? Remember that?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
So AMG 1, guys, Google it. It is.
We'll put a photo in here.
Okay. It is could it be a smaller photo? That's better.
Wow.
So super sick looking. It's a hybrid.
I love the Mercedes logos under the back.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody uses that. Because remember at the auto show, there was like Toyota had that.
Yeah, like Lamborghini had it. Everybody were like, what? No.
It's supposed to be like the symbol of whatever expensive cars. Like you see that, you know you're gonna hurt your wallet. You see that print. Even on the Toyota, it was on their little hybrid thing.
Yeah.
That thing was probably like 50 grand for their little like hybrid thing.
Right.
So anyways, it is essentially what they're trying to market it as. This Project 1 is what it's called. And I think it's 1 because it's the first street legal like F1 hypercar type of thing. So it's just a it's a 1.6 liter V6. So tiny V6. It goes to 11,000 RPM. So very similar to F1 engines because F1 engines are all V6 now, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're, crazy RPMs and like
small,
and they're small liter too. The F1 engines.
So it has the same size engine as the GR Corolla.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that's 3 cylinders. So
that's
it's double.
So it has
the
half
cylinders.
of the piston size of a GR Corolla.
They must just be like this. Just maybe even less.
Like
yeah. They're like you ever see those TikToks of the guys building like the toy engines?
Yes.
And they run they run on nitro and stuff like that.
Which I want really bad.
Definitely want one of those. Yeah. If you guys if you're watching and you own one of those companies, hook us up. That'd be sweet.
So that's crazy.
So anyways, 11,000 RPM V6. And then it's a hybrid. So
it's a hybrid. Okay.
2 electric motors for the front wheels.
Okay.
And then one of them paired with the engine, sort of in line, I believe.
Okay.
So it's 3 electric motors and then that V6.
Okay.
So I don't know power figures and stuff completely, but Nürburgring is like if you're a European car or like a hypercar or supercar, that seems to be the standard for how they set speed.
That's like the weird benchmark that I don't know how got defined that way, but it
they
is.
just all decided to do that. So that's probably really loud in the mic. I'm gonna not do that. I don't know if that came through really loud, but it felt really loud for me.
Terrible. You could do the little screw on the
Is that
end.
all it is?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna check real quick.
The video stop.
No, we're good.
We're good. Okay.
So
So AMG 1 set a lap time of 6:35. 6 minutes and 35 seconds, which this is like a hypercar, like fast car.
Right.
6 minutes and 35 seconds. They're bragging a little bit about that, right? That's a pretty good time in general. So Porsche comes in. Comes in with their 919 Evo. So their hypercar.
Okay.
I don't know the exact specs of that one.
Okay.
You could look it up if you feel like it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the 919 Evo, they came in with a fastest ever time on the Nürburgring of 5 minutes and 19 seconds.
Oh.
Yes. So it looks
they did
insane. 5 minutes and 19 seconds. So a whole minute and 16 seconds faster.
Oh my gosh.
So 16 seconds faster would have been like, holy cow, that's faster, right?
Right.
Minute 16 faster.
Insane.
And the fastest ever. And then
Like 20% faster.
yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So now you made a good argument. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
That the AMG 1 is not just a hypercar specifically made to go fast. It's
Right.
they're trying to make it as like a production model.
Yeah, I think that was their brag was because I think before that Porsche had the record for the fastest production car that had the Nürburgring lap time. And I think it was the 911 GT3. And then Mercedes did this and said,
Yeah.
well, we have the fastest production
Yeah, because
car now.
this is actually the article.
Which
That
it's-
Mercedes 1
yeah.
smashes the fastest.
What was the
lap
record
record.
before? Did they say in there? Because I thought it was a GT3 RS. I could be wrong though.
The previous record was 6:43. That was held by a GT2
GT2.
RS MR.
Okay.
Which I don't know what that is.
I
but
think that it's
just a super
it's
crazy
a rear
fast
wheel
one.
drive one. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a little bit lighter. Oh, it's
Crazy
also
looking.
so these like
Crazy race
street
car.
legal cars that we're talking about. But that's my other funny thing though is like you showed that's a beautiful watch.
Yeah.
You
I just
showed
that was funny. Like race car racing.
right.
Also, look at this watch. Race car.
Um,
Just keeps going.
Like you had showed the picture of the McLaren.
Yeah.
And it's funny because
Mercedes.
they're why do I keep saying
Because
McLaren?
it looks like a McLaren.
It does look like a McLaren.
A little bit.
I've been fighting saying McLaren this whole time. Like that thing, and they're like, "We're the fastest production car," and then like in tiny text underneath it, it's like starting at $2.7 million.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like, well, I guess anything's a production car. Then it's like Porsche could sell this to 3 people and be like, because I think they have some weird rules. That used to be a thing with like Group B Rally and everything. That's the reason we have a RS2. Like the reason that exists is because they needed to sell like some certain amount of things in order to say like, no, it is
But it's a production car, yeah.
really. Same. Oh, that was the maybe it wasn't the RS2. Maybe it was the Coupe Quattro, the Coupe
Probably.
Quattro back in the day, so
Yep.
that they could do the S1. They're like,
Yeah.
we do sell
They
it.
need to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. They
But-
just make it underpowered and street legal and all that stuff.
That thing looks sweet. That like with the roof scoop. I don't know why I
Yeah.
love the roof scoop so much, but
It just
that
looks
and then,
awesome.
like the single fin coming off the back is
Yep.
so F1, and
Yeah.
it's a good looking car.
Yeah, great looking car. So Porsche dunked on it, way faster. And then Porsche has a number of other records
Yeah.
on the Nürburgring. And remember, the AMG 1 pushed Porsche off the top by beating their
Yeah,
initial record by a lot.
Right.
It was 13 seconds that
Yeah.
they beat it by.
which
So
is
that's like
it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a
Yeah,
long time.
that's a long time for a
race-wise.
race.
Yeah,
Like if you think about like that sounds like neck and neck, like that right
Yeah.
there. Vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
But it's like, vroom, and then it's like 13. I'm not going to sit there.
Yeah, we're not gonna sit for 13
because that's
seconds.
too long of a pause. Everybody would stop
Right.
watching. That's
Although-
how long it is.
Have you watched anything? Not to sidetrack too much, but with the 24-hour Le Mans race,
No.
it's like I was watching the leaderboard. I tuned in for the end, like the end hour or whatever, and it was like everybody. The first 3 are like within seconds of each other,
Mhm.
and then there's like people down 20 seconds, and then there's people down like 4 laps, and like when you get down, it's like people down like 80 laps because they did 700 laps, and like that's how long the race is.
Over time, you
Yeah.
can get way
Yeah,
far
I was
behind.
looking through. I was like, "Where's Porsche?" I'm like, "Why are they down 27 laps? This is not
Yeah,
Anyway,
and that's actually
sorry.
probably pretty good.
right."
They're
That's
not
like
down that
average.
much.
Yeah,
So AMG 1 came and smashed that. So 911 or the 919 Evo smashed it again. And then the fastest naturally aspirated lap time is currently held by a 992 GT3 RS of 6:49. So their
Whoa.
GT3 RS got within 1 second
Whoa.
of their prior held record lap time ever of 6:48. So just a 992 GT3 RS. Now they also hold the fastest electric vehicle lap time in the Taycan
really?
Turbo S.
Oh, didn't they have the same kind of feud with Tesla, and then they smashed it with the?
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
They're just all the time, just like, you thought you could beat us,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, it's in their backyard too, so that's a little unfair that they can just be like,
It's like their stomping grounds, like their
it's
testing
their home
grounds.
team advantage.
Yeah, right. Seriously, they literally build all their cars to that spec.
Yeah.
So they did that in 7 minutes and 33 seconds.
Wow.
So a minute slower than the AMG one, but they're all turbo, or they're all turbo, 0 turbos on the car.
0 turbo, but all
electric.
lane. Yeah.
They hold the record for the fastest SUV, the Cayenne
Really?
Turbo GT,
Interesting.
at 7 minutes and 38 seconds, only 5 seconds slower than their all-electric sedan.
Well, and not
that's
that
super
far
impressive.
off from their car.
Yeah.
I mean, a minute,
Right.
but like that's not that much.
And then the GT2 RS is the fastest supercar lap, still held at 6 minutes and 38 seconds. So they rebeat it with this GT2 RS.
Supercar. Okay.
So,
oh wait. So the
the GT2 RS is considered a supercar. I guess the GT3 RS is not. And I don't know if it's just because of the lack of turbos.
Interesting. That
Because
could
it's the
be.
NA.
Yeah. Much less horsepower.
Yeah. So that's technically slower than the AMG one because the AMG one is in the hypercar category.
Yeah.
But only 3 second difference. That's a pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like it's the AMG one.
Yeah.
And the Porsche. Like.
Oh, it was.
That's
okay,
pretty
wait.
close.
So I misunderstood that. So that's all they beat it by. It wasn't much. It was just a little bit for the AMG one.
Right.
And then their 919 is a minute.
Then
faster.
smashed it by a lot.
And that's the fastest time. That's what I was going to ask.
Fastest ever. Yep.
Wow. 5
Fastest
minutes.
ever time.
I looked it up too. 17 and a half miles.
Holy cow.
That's,
Wait a minute. What's the average speed?
I don't know. Let's figure it out. I have a feeling this is going to be a disappointing number, but let's try.
Well, because there's tons of turns. So you would do the time
You do-
divided by the miles? The time times hours divided by the miles.
So it's
So 519 times 60.
times 60
You want to do 19.
plus 19. So it's 319 minutes.
Divided by
Wow. Why can't my brain work right now? How do you find average speed? You take minutes. Minutes divided by miles? No, you do this
17
divided by
miles?
60, 5.31, and then do 17.5 divided by
Was it 17 miles exactly?
17 and a half. Oh, you found a thing. You found a thing.
5 minutes and 19 seconds. Is that what it was?
Yes.
That can't be right.
What was the average?
197. There's no way that's correct, though, right? To average nearly 200 miles an hour, there's no way. You can't average nearly 200 miles an hour.
Is
Right?
that, wait, okay.
Are they running a different ring on the Nürburgring?
5 minutes.
Because here, let's make
That's
it.
the full length, though.
Let's make it more.
Did they average 200 miles?
Let's make it more like believable, not more believable, but do the Porsche GT3 RS. Oh, okay. So for some reason, this seems more believable. The GT3 RS did 6 minutes and 38 seconds. That's an average of 158.
So
That's very, 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 very fast, though. That means they have to be hitting over 200 very often.
Okay, hold on. I found a spec sheet.
Oh, there it is. Average 223 kilometers.
233 kilometers an hour. So that's not what we said.
That's an average of 139.
What are we doing wrong? Did they do a different loop, maybe? They must have done a different loop.
Because there's a bunch of loops you can do at the Nürburgring.
Well,
So there must be a specific, right?
you guys got to ride along for that horrible little math lesson. Apparently, they averaged 139, according to this. 1160 horsepower.
Wait a minute. We were using their specs, though.
What?
There are different tracks you can do
Yeah.
at the Nürburgring, though, right? There isn't just kind of like Road America locally here. There's like they can change the route and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's just do a little.
I'm so confused.
12.94,
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Wikipedia.
and then did it in 519.
Oh, I read the original configuration. That seems like it's going to go the other way, though.
So still not, but okay. Still doesn't add up, but it's closer because
Okay.
they said 139 and this says 146.
So it's the same. How long was Tail of the Dragon?
11 miles. Mile 11. See,
Oh, is that what that's saying?
Yeah.
11 miles.
11
total.
miles, 318 curves. Yep.
Okay.
So it's
That's-
roughly
so the-
close-ish to that.
So is that the American?
Tail the Dragon is the American Nürburgring. Seems about right. 'Cause
I
there's
should
like the
cut
Tree of
that
Shame.
now.
There's like the Tree of Shame, and there's like it's a bunch of
Yeah.
don't touch the mustard. You know, that seems like the American version
Yeah,
of it.
so Porsche, Mercedes. I mean, come on, bring your cars over here. If you really think you're quick, put your money where your mouth is. We've got nothing
I
to compete.
would love to see them
Wouldn't that be
rip
sick?
the sounds. Well, the electric wouldn't be as fun, but
It
the
would
like
be
GT3 RS,
sick.
just like
That'd be awesome.
But the thing that's different with that is look how much straightaway there is.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
it's
there's
a ton
definitely
of straightaways
tons of
into
turns.
like really tight turns and
Yeah.
stuff. The Tail of
There's
Dragon's
tons of
just
maneuvering.
turns.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting what average. Because I would say our average speed was probably 35.
If that.
Because we got up, I think I got up to like 60. I definitely kept it at 30.
Yeah.
But I got up to a certain speed, but then in the turns was always like 10.
Right. Because they're crazy.
Yeah, because it's 100%.
That's interesting.
More than 180.
So they averaged 146 miles an hour.
That's wild. I have never gone that fast.
And they averaged it.
That was their average.
That's nuts.
So between
good job, Porsche.
So between like completely stopping at 90-degree turns plus, not completely stopping, obviously.
Probably hitting
those
90-degree
like
turns at like 70.
Yes. Wild. So anyways, did I get through all the records? I closed my notes.
Oh, good. I think that was all your
records.
records.
Yeah, so anyways, Porsche dunks in everybody. Porsche's the best. Porsche's superior.
Have you seen
They're like, we are the superior car. And it's like, whoa, relax.
This is like they ran an ad like that. Yeah, easy. This was their ad back in the day when they were doing all their, I think this is back when they had that big blue Le Mans car.
Okay, this is Porsche.
Dad used to have the model of. Yeah, this was an ad that they ran. So in big title,
wow,
it says,
talk about nostalgia.
Right? So in a big thing, it says nobody's perfect. And then it says the Le Mans champion or the Le Mans placement for that year. And it was like Porsche, first, second, third, all the way through 8th, Porsche, and then BMW, and then Porsche was 10th too. So their cars did like all that.
That's
I was like, that's excellent. They've had the best ads ever. There's a guy he's been recreating some of them as like t-shirts and stuff. It's freaking
So
love
do you
them.
think it is the setup of their cars? Because they're really the only ones doing I guess for Le Mans, it's all stuff like that though. Yeah. It's not like a 911.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, there's different classes because, like, even in the Le Mans race, I think there's different. I think Le Mans is it. I'm also saying it probably wrong because I say it different every time, and when I end up saying it without the N, I feel like I'm describing like pregnancy breathing.
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking,
it gets into that story. Yeah. Le Mans, that
Le
race.
Mans, not Le Woman's.
Yikes.
I meant because of the pregnancy breathing stuff.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else.
Canceled.
Like that, because that's like where all the hybrid cars that we cut a million times in here. Like they had the Cadillacs recently that they pull away like
right,
and they do a thing. I did that pretty well. Actually.
That was pretty nice. Yeah, they should use your voice for that car instead of their engine.
we just overlay it for
that
all. That
would be great.
But they have like those cars, and then I think they had like C8 Corvette looking things and like 911s and stuff too as part of that 24-hour race. So there's like different classes that all compete and everything.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
There are some cars that are not real cars because like
what is the competition? Because a 911 just seems like it's in its own class, but it's technically a supercar. So isn't a Lamborghini Huracan, isn't an Audi R8, isn't a like the McLarens and like all that stuff is technically competition for 911.
Yep, because then there's Corvettes. Like Corvettes are in that class, and Vipers used to be in that class.
Right.
And then there's like Bentleys and stuff. It's that
it's weird because like I feel like a Porsche 911 just feels like a more approachable.
Yeah, here's the 24-hour cars.
Oh, it seems for whatever reason it seems like a more attainable, approachable car. Probably because you can get a base 911, even a newer one for like 50, 60 grand. Like, expensive. Yeah, but for a car like that, and then I guess all the way up to like the GT2s are in the 2s to 400s or whatever. So I guess it is up in that price range too. But they still look like it.
Yeah, here we go. This is the class. So you've got a BMW M something. There's 4 GTs in that class.
Oh, okay.
You've got Corvettes.
Fords.
You've got Aston Martins. That's right.
Aston.
Those guys are in there.
Yeah, we went to Road America. We saw the GT class. That's what I think that's called.
Yeah, here's like a mix of it because you've got like the Toyota supercars and stuff. You've got 911s. You've got the Corvettes. So yeah, it's kind of like a weird mix, but they all race together, but they're not like ranked together. So there's like first overall, which is going to be all these crazy hybrid cars and everything. Which is, I didn't realize a 1.6 liter engine. I just learned too that the Ferrari F40 that has a 2.7 liter V8.
Yeah, they're not that big.
It's like tiny. But I mean, it revs to like 14,000 RPM. But
still, well, and they're still pushing out high horsepower and everything. But
they
don't need all the latest for that.
Sorry to go on a super diversion, but
so you mentioned Ford GT. It reminded me of something. Can we tangent?
Sure.
Okay. Have you heard of the Ford GT90?
I have.
Well, I know
you have too. Do you remember where we heard of it from though?
No.
Remember that old racing game we used to have?
Oh yeah.
Remember? And it had all the it had the Jaguar, it had this GT90,
that's right.
It had a bunch of other weird stuff. I didn't know that it ever was a thing though. I just saw that picture recently on Instagram or whatever, and I was like,
just
wait,
popped
what?
up.
I also never tied it to a GT40 in my head, like it was the next that.
Right.
I never linked those two.
Yeah, me either. I never realized it was like their next iteration. So it's basically like a Ford Bugatti. That's kind of what it looks like. And
that's a great description.
And its build too is very similar because it's a V12 4 turbo, I want to say.
What?
Quad turbo? Yeah. V12 quad turbo equals 2 wow. Nice. So it was a 5.9 liter 48 valve dual overhead cam V12. with not 2 but 4 Garrett T2 turbochargers, 720 horsepower. Not that impressive.
That seems low.
But 1995.
Fair.
So to 1995.
95?
Yeah, this is
Wow.
95.
That's interesting.
With the I love the like
It
triangle.
it looks like a Speed Racer villain car,
100%.
doesn't it?
Beautiful. 90s.
That's actually pretty progressive for a 90s
I mean,
interior.
it looks. Let's be honest. It looks as good as that new Pagani.
It looks like a Pagani. Yeah,
That one
you're
we
right.
saw the red interior.
You're
one,
right.
It looks just like that.
It does.
With
That's
the
really funny.
stainless whatever gauges and like the metal work, and
That's
they
interesting.
really kept with like the
Yeah, seriously,
diamond
they really
sorta.
brought that diamond thing. I mean, it's like it looks like a Bugatti and a Honda Ioniq had a baby.
That's hilarious. And then stole an engine from like
I don't know what.
cracked
Yeah,
up Ford engineer.
right. They broke in the Lamborghini factory and
Yeah.
wow, interesting.
So a far cry from the GT40. And I think what they did with the actual real modern GT40 is a lot more similar to the classic, which is awesome. But pretty cool. Like it would have been super interesting if we're in like today's world and Ford is like in the super hypercar space.
Right.
I guess they technically are with some of their race cars and stuff, but like on a production model. Like if you'd be like, what color is your GT90? You know?
yeah,
Like if it wasn't Bugatti, if that's what they were competing
it's
with.
weird. It's weird. Like, was there ever? Because this kind of popped up again recently. It feels like in the last couple months. Is there any plan to like this concept coming back, or was it just, hey guys, remember this thing?
I think it just recently, like people were kind of, because this was in 2021.
Yeah.
There was an article written about it. I don't know. I think just,
It's like
I think
everybody
in the
remembered
world
it.
of like, especially going hybrid.
Yeah.
And then like there have been more than ever, I feel like all these new crazy like supercars popping up and hypercars and stuff like that.
True.
So I think people are just kind of remembering. But
That's
one
interesting.
thing I find very funny, which is just like a funny, like I could see them in like a boardroom talking about like we got to pay homage to the old cars and blah, 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 even though it's like this new hypercar, is the like old school
Weird.
tri-spinner things.
Yeah.
Like center locks, which
Right.
is awesome. But then like that looks like it was on like 60s Mustang
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Like these wheels with the, I don't know what those are called.
Well,
It's like it fits with all the triangle stuff that they have in this one.
It's like what Porsche does sometimes with like paying homage to like an old Fuchs wheel on a new thing.
Yes.
It's like they did the same thing, which honestly is like the only thing that dates that car. Because outside of that, it looks like a current. Like if you threw like BBS LMs on it
like
or something.
the color of like the photos and stuff, like it just looks very 90s.
Right.
And like these renders look very 90s.
Yeah, the angles and stuff. That side one though, and that interior shot, I'd believe you. I mean, I thought honestly when I saw it coming back, I was like, dude, they're resurrecting the thing.
Yeah,
which is
I would believe
interesting.
this is a brand new car.
Okay, wait.
What?
That's not a great time, is it? They claim the GT90 would do a quarter mile in 10.9. Top speed over 250.
In 1995, maybe that
Yeah,
was
that was
really
probably
good.
a great number
But
then.
I think this is one of those things like the guys from Calvo Motorsports who do those crazy Vipers.
Yeah.
They were like, this is not a, what are they? Like their race standard is like 100 to 200 is like what they race.
Oh.
Like,
So
this
they're
is not like a
they're
quarter
not a-
mile car.
Gotcha.
Because it's like
rolling stuff.
Like this is a V12 with 4 turbos. Like you want to be at whatever high RPM before you actually go.
Yeah, I
So it
respect
kinda
that.
makes
If it can go
sense.
250, I think that's fine.
Yeah. So this is probably more of a 100 to 200 race car.
Yeah.
So they would
Makes
be
sense.
up against those guys at, I mean, it's 700. They had it at 750 horsepower. I'm sure if this was made today, they could rework the same engine and turbos and tuning and stuff to be like 1200 horsepower from the factory.
Yeah,
or whatever.
probably.
Like what is a Bugatti?
I have no clue. I thought they were like 1,500 horsepower.
Yeah. Wow. Nice spot. Freaking on.
This
Which
is
also,
right on.
These just look awesome.
Yeah, they look pretty cool. Have you seen? There was a TikTok about it. It was like this. They just did the coldest transition and didn't tell everybody about it. You seen that?
Yes.
And they
with
did
the
the
line.
drift, and then it's the line. Yeah, I was like, that's pretty. That's pretty cool.
sweet. Yeah. That's super cool.
I have a conspiracy theory for you.
Yes. Tell me.
So in the 90s,
This
Ford's
is made
doing
by
this.
the Illuminati. Is that what you're saying? Because of all
No.
the triangles.
That's hilarious. No, that's good too. No, in the 90s, this was being made, right? And so Ford and Ferrari have always had this back and forth since the original GT40.
Mhm.
They've been doing it. Ford comes out with this and they're like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And then Ferrari went to them and said, hey, like, you're Ford. Let's come to an agreement. So
Yeah.
Ferrari then funds this new startup called Pagani. They feature that. They purchase the rights to the GT90. They have Pagani go create the GT90 out of their own little thing. Pagani then, I don't know how Bugatti gets tied in, but they do
Yeah, I
later.
was wondering where you
But
went with
then-
Pagani.
yeah, I lost it. I just thought I'd make it up to see how far
Because
we
the
could go.
interior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they run with it. Ford decides to shelf the GT90. They
Yeah.
pursue other things. Now they get back into the GT because Ferrari did something dirty for them. Maybe Ford exec got blacklisted from Ferrari, and they're like, you know, we're back.
Well, remember the
They bring
times
the
that they
Angry
were
Birds guy
doing
back.
this. Remember the times they were doing this Ford versus Ferraris, like mob times.
Right.
Like they were legitimate gangsters when they were doing that whole Ford versus
Gangsters and
Ferrari
Matt
thing.
Damon, man. And everybody's
Yeah. Great
movie, by the way.
Now, when the Lamborghini movie came in to try to sort of compete along the same lines and
Yeah.
kind of steal the Ford versus Ferrari hype, didn't do it.
I got a follow-up question.
Yeah.
There's a Lamborghini movie?
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's it called?
No, it's I think it's just called Lamborghini.
Interesting. I had no clue there's a Lamborghini one.
Yeah, Lamborghini, the man behind the legend. It just came out.
Oh.
Well, end of 2022.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
is
think
it
it was
more of
more
like
of a
a
smaller
documentary thing?
No, not at all. No, it's
Oh.
a recreation of Ferruccio Lamborghini, like going from
that's sad.
tractor to
Yeah.
supercar.
Yeah.
And they keep having these cut scenes of him as like an adult
Yeah.
with the Countach
Interesting.
racing the owner of Ferrari, whatever Ferrari,
Yeah.
in his I don't remember
which
what it
one?
was at that point.
Okay.
It was a Testarossa or something like that.
Gotcha.
Whatever was like sort of competitive at that time.
Gotcha.
Some of the building the car stuff and the racing stuff was pretty cool though in the movie. But
Interesting.
overall, it ended up.
Let's check it out. Yeah.
It
It was no Ford versus Ferrari was an amazing movie.
Yeah,
That one
yeah.
was awesome.
And I don't really know what the differences were because there was the competition, there was
Yeah.
like the stealing designers, there
Right.
was like
Right.
the building the cars,
Right.
and his craziness with
Right.
designing the
Well,
stuff.
I think it's probably, are you saying you don't know what the difference between the movies was really?
Right.
It probably comes down to like, there's not, I mean,
Scripting and
Lamborghini.
stuff.
Well, no, but like Lamborghini and Ferrari, like Italian supercar companies, like, oh, they're competing. Like Ford versus Ferrari was like Ford, like American Mustang, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to beat Ferrari. And everyone was like, come on, really? And then they did. And they engineered
Ferrari's always the
something up
bad
and-
guy, huh?
Yeah.
Why can't Ferrari be the good guy for once?
Because they're
Right?
not,
Because it's
because they're
Lamborghini
not
versus
the
Ferrari,
good
it's
guy.
Ford versus Ferrari. I
Yeah.
guess kind of they got the cease. We're
they're
gonna
the
get a
ones-
cease and desist just for this conversation.
I know. Yes, we
Like,
can't buy a Ferrari.
Don't talk
now.
about it. It's like
Want
what?
one.
Yeah.
I have
kind
a
of
funny
want one though.
Well, you're not going to get one after this. So this is a perfect
Oh, great.
transition
Okay, let's go.
accidentally. So I have an article. These are the ugliest cars Ferrari ever
All right,
made.
let's go. Wow.
I
Perfect
can't believe I
transition.
had it in
Not
here.
even scripted, y'all.
So first
That's
up,
bad.
I don't know what this is. I guess I
It
should have
looks
had
like
the
a
names.
Nissan.
Something I would probably suggest something like the 400i. Not ugly, I suppose, but certainly no looker. So it's got pop-ups and it kind of looks like an old Jaguar.
So it'd be cool if it wasn't a Ferrari.
It has a
Like-
bit of mid-80s Toyota vibe going on.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a 2+2,
Great
so it's got
JDM.
rear seats. But yeah, so there's that.
Well, along your lines of hating any supercar SUV manufactured, like I don't think Ferrari should have 4 seats.
But
Right?
you're fine with them having an SUV?
If I'm in your lane,
Okay.
If I'm
Yeah,
in your lane
I'll
of that
agree with you.
belief,
I'll
I don't
agree
think
with
they should be two
Yeah, I'll agree.
seaters.
Totally agree with that.
That's what they're supposed to be.
Right. I don't think Porsche should
Because you
make the
can't have
Panamera.
kids if you want to buy a Ferrari.
Right.
They're just as
Blacklist.
expensive. Yeah. Oh, you had children. I don't know what accent I'm going to try. Let's just keep going.
So the next up
That wasn't gonna work.
is the 612 Scaglietti.
Okay.
This article says it's my least favorite modernish Ferrari. Looks like the long hood format too far. Beady-eyed headlights. It does look very weird. This looks like a video
Okay.
game car if I've ever seen
So
it.
I saw someone make one of these really, really cool.
Really? So
No,
the
it's
back
not.
end of
It
these
does look
kind of
weird.
looks like a 360, and the front end sort of looks like a new Jaguar.
Yeah.
Like the new
And the
smaller
body
Jaguar.
lines on the side look like a Jaguar.
It's just weird. It's a weird looking car. There's another one. This guy.
What?
Yeah. This looks like a way uglier Enzo concept. almost,
Yeah.
right?
With that hood.
It's the FZ93 Zagato.
There's a guy.
So that's terrible. Yeah, the whole like the nose thing. It kind of looks like, remember when we were at the Chicago Auto Show and they were describing the Prius? They're like, with the new hammerhead shark design. It's like,
oh yeah.
call it what you want.
Like,
yeah. Yeah. There's that guy.
Toyota doesn't send cease and desist.
This guy.
What?
Which looks like a weird wagon,
No.
old school Corvette.
It does,
Doesn't it?
It looks like a Corvette wagon.
Yeah.
Like
This
what
is
are
a
they
65
doing?
330 GT 2+2 Vignali shooting brake.
I love how Shooting Brake is the name for
Me too.
ugly hatchbacks.
We should bring
in-
that back.
Shooting Brake. Yeah,
Shooting brake.
they do
Sweet.
in Europe and stuff. I think
do
a lot
they?
of
They
theirs
still
are
call
called
it
Shooting
that?
Brakes. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting. Yeah.
Or what is the difference between hatchback and shooting brake?
Region? I don't know.
If the roof to the rear windows angle is closest to 90 degrees, it's a shooting brake. Oh, so that's why the clown shoe looks like that. So
Oh.
the roof to the rear window, if that's close
Yeah.
to 90 degrees, It's also called an estate car or station wagon.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
estate's the other thing.
So if the roof and the rear window
So
angle
that's
is
the
close to
difference
30 to
between-
40 degrees, it's a hatchback.
So that's the difference between a wagon and a hatch.
However, it is only a hatchback if the rear window opens as part of the boot trunk. Well, yeah, duh. You know, like if it's a hatch.
Yeah.
The whole thing opens. Like the rear window is part of
But
the hatch that opens.
All wagons do that too?
Yes.
So what would not do that? Oh, I
That's
get
what
it.
they're
I
saying.
get it. So they're saying like if the 318 had just the window but the trunk opened, it's
Then
no
it's
longer
just a
that. It's just a sedan
coupe or whatever,
something.
sedan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, there you go. There's the fun fact you didn't know you needed. The difference between a
Shooting
hatchback
brake.
and a shooting brake or an estate, or as we call it in the States, a wagon.
Yeah, like a C8 Corvette shooting brake would be sick.
Whoa. Right? That's awesome.
So that's what's
any
cool about
car as a
'Cause, like,
wagon,
the-
I'm here for. I think any. Yeah, any.
Any car that's a shooting brake?
Yeah.
Oh, as a wagon?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is the FF, right?
Yep.
I didn't know it's 4-wheel drive.
Interesting.
Or is this a concept?
I don't know. All right, let's
that's
end the
kinda
episode.
interesting too.
Thank you guys for tuning in this week. Thank you for joining us this week at Third Pedal Podcast. We'll catch you on the flippity.
Peace. That's what it was last time. All right. Welcome back, guys, to Third Pedal Podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Jacob.
I don't like how I said that. Podcast.
Hi, guys.
Run it back. Oh, you weren't recording on there?
No,
You didn't catch my beautiful vocals?
No, I missed your vocals. Testing.
Dang.
That seems loud enough. Yours seems a little hotter than mine. Blah, blah, blah.
With
Talking to yours.
Snoop.